Five. Four.
Every time I ride around,
Three.
I feel like
Two. One. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a little thing that we call the Cipher 360. I am your host, Marcus the Kid Warren, and with me is my man Muff. How are you doing today, sir?
Today on today's Sports Center, we're going to be covering...
Back to you, Phil.
I tell you, man, I'm doing great because the last couple of weeks I was saying to you, look, man, we need to get some dope hip hop out here as far as reviewing. I don't think our last few reviews have been on just dope. We reviewed some decent stuff, but nothing dope lately, right?
Dope.
So I'm looking at this one album that I see on here that got my man Inspectah with a crew I'm familiar with, which is 7L Esoteric, which I thought was a unique, appearance. I was looking forward to listening to the new album, which we're going to be reviewing today, called CZARFACE, C-Z-A-R, CZARFACE. So I'm laughing because listening to this album, it's so dope, it's funny to me.
Okay.
And I say that because, look, we always, with a lot of guys like us, we always look at the 90s, like the 90s golden era all the time. Like that was the best beats, right? And the thing about guys like us who always talk about the 90s is the fact that we always talk about how dope everything was and how whack everything is right now, but not enough guys who are in the 90s are doing anything really to bring that dopeness back to the forefront again, knowing that things are whack right about now. Not enough of them anyway, in my opinion. So, the thing I loved about this album is what I loved about 90s in general, and that was freaking creativity.
Okay.
I thought the album was quite progressive for it to even be kind of a retro album. You know what I mean? Okay. Even though it is a 90s style of album, okay, it doesn't suffer from sounding dated. So this album is stupid to me. That means good for people who don't really know what I mean by it. It's not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good. No, but really though, man, this thing was really off the hook. Now, one of the things I liked about this album too
Tell them what you liked,
is that Inspectah Deck, they take advantage of how dope Inspectah Deck is when he goes first. I love when this dude goes first, man, because he sets that crap off. Air Him Out is an example of that, man. Go ahead, tell him why it's dope. Tell him why it's dope.
Man, this album is so dope because hits you right in the face. Is a very, very aggressive album. I mean, it comes out smacks you right in the face with Air Him Out. And this is what I love about Inspectah. I mean, I've always been a big fan of Inspectah Deck, Wu-Tang, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because Inspectah Deck, and this is why I give this brother so much. This is why I give this man so much respect. Is because look, he's a legend in his own time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, I mean, come on, Wu-Tang. And he could actually sit back, phone it in pretty much, and still have a body of work that is still, that will still hold up, in time. Inspectah Deck, I think, has gotten better with time, actually.
Yeah, that's like, well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
This brother has totally came out. I think this is the best. I mean, I might go out on a limb here and say, and this is the best I've ever heard Inspectah Deck.
It is, dude. It's funny you say that. 'Cause I was kind of thinking the same thing. I didn't verbalize it until you mentioned it, but he sounds definitely as good as I've ever heard him sound. Yeah, without question. This dude, he sounds hungry.
He sounds like he sounds like a rapper who hadn't made it yet.
I mean, usually I comment on the beat part of it. 7L from 7L and Esoteric, you would think, even though they do have one joint in there from Primo, which is kind of like, that's almost like signing, like letting you know that we're trying to put a dope album out, getting a Primo beat on there. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, Primo's beat doesn't necessarily stand out because 7L put some bangers up on this mug.
Yeah,
man.
he did.
He did. I mean, and what's more, I think that 7L did a great job providing the forum from all of these dope MCs to really spit on to their best. Obviously with Inspectah Deck and 7L, but in Esoteric, I mean, Esoteric holds his own too. Esoteric got some crazy punchline. I think I mentioned to the fact that, what did he say? Tackling Tim Tebow is sacrilegious. That's crazy to me. Making references like that. You know what I'm saying? But you got Ghostface, you got Rock Marciano, you got Oh No from Gang Green, who we love.
And my man, Action Bronson made a little cameo.
With one of the sickest. I mean, dude, suffering like Succotash with the. I mean, dude, it's Capadonna. It just from back to front, it's pretty much a banger. We love this album. It's definitely boom bap. Definitely boom bap. But I just found this album. It was a breath of fresh air for 2013. We're in the second month of 2013. It has something that's dope. It's about the dopest album I've heard so far this year. Okay. Go ahead.
The one thing that I really love about I always want to say L7, 7L, you know, and the whole Super Friends and the superhero, you know, references. Yeah. I love that. They put that in there to stay true to what they like, you know what I'm saying? Inspectah Deck comes out and just knocks it out of the park. I mean, the cameos were crazy. The beats were freaking sick. I mean, even the Primo joint, which wasn't, like you said, wasn't the hottest joint on the joint, but I mean, it's like, you hear that Primo cut, and nobody can cut like Primo. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
No, you got to let him...
Oh, anyway, I digress. I mean, it was just, from back to front, a great album. And I think Inspectah Deck, I take my hat off to you, Inspectah Deck.
And 7L and 7L and Esoteric, you guys definitely held it down too. Let's not make this an Inspectah Deck album, because definitely Esoteric and 7L hold it down in their own respect too.
Oh, of course. And the only reason I say that is because, look, I was, you know, and I was expecting, like, I wasn't like setting the bar low for this one, but I didn't know Inspectah Deck was going to going to punch me in the face like he did with his rhyme flow on this one. Inspectah Deck, you did your thing. And Esoteric and 7L, y'all also did your thing too.
Well, without question. Bravo. And what's more too is that especially with Esoteric in Inspectah Deck 2, they come from the 90s era where, if you don't know, kids, it was like a lot of punchlines. That was kind of marked the decade to me. A lot of punchlines, setting you up for the punchline, boom, boom, boom. And they don't do that as much in the new millennium, you know. And I wish, in my opinion, I wish we would go back to that, because I think that when you don't have the punchline, having punchlines in your rap kind of forces you to be clever in your rap. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It forces you to be like, okay, I got, you know, I'm setting you up, bam, setting you up, bam. That's what it was for me. That's what they were doing. They were basically setting you up, pow, pow. That's what it was throughout the whole album. Kept your attention. You know, the BPMs went pretty much the same throughout the whole album. So it's like boom, every album, every song is actually pretty much a banker. Doesn't lose your attention. If I'm going to go ahead and rate this thing, man, yo, I'm saying 4. Okay. Strong 4 out of 5. Okay. Strong 4. Debated 5, but I certainly not 5, but I debated 4.5. But I'd give it a very strong, rock hard 4. 4.5? Yeah, 4.
Well, you know, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this thing a 4.5, because look, this is what happens when you have dope beats and dope rhymes. It's called hip hop, people. You know what I'm saying? This is just from beginning to end a banger. I give it 4.5. I think is going to be probably one of the better albums of the year.
Oh, this definitely, at the end of the day, when we do our Ciphers at the end of the year, we're definitely going to, this is going to be one of the better albums nominated. But we can't do like last year. Like, we talked about how great Killer Mike's album was last year. We didn't even have it nominated, and we really should have been nominated by us for our album of the year. So we had to go back and actually correct that.
Big up Killer Mike.
You know, big up Killer Mike, man. He did a show recently too. I want to say in TL. No, I forgot where. Like in Paris. You know, Killer Mike. At any rate, that's digressing. But yeah, 4 for me, 4.5 my man. Dope. The name of the LP is CZARFACE. It's by Inspectah Deck and 7L and Esoteric. And for you guys who are not familiar with 7L and Esoteric, look them up, man. They have some pretty dope stuff. Very dope stuff, as a matter of fact. So I just thought initially that the pairing was odd, but you know, once they got together and then made this thing work, it did just that. It worked.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't too familiar with. I mean, I knew about him, 7L and Esoteric, but I wasn't really a Esoteric head. But you know what? They made a believer out of me. This is what we call, at least what I call, some frowned up hip hop. This is hip hop like lyrics make you go, oh, damn. But anyway, I digress. But if you want to hit us up, let us know what you think of this album, whether you think we're right or wrong. Hit us up on our Gmail account. We are kidandmuff44@gmail.com. That's KIDDANDMUFF44@gmail.com. You can also hit us up on Twitter. We're also kidandmuff44 on Twitter. You can also hit us up on Facebook. We are the Cipher Crew. So be our friend and hit that likey thing. Hit that like thing. And tell your friends about us.
Please do.
You know, both of y'all. Anyway, that's all I got, man. Unless you got something else.
No, I'm good, man. Make sure y'all stay listening to us. We appreciate you guys checking us out, giving us the love that you do give us. Send us your beats, send us your rhymes. Let us know what you think of the show. Whether you think we whack, whether you think we off the hook with it. Just keep it up. Just watch us.
All right.
Oh, because Cipher said so. You know.
Yeah, check out. Usually I say something like, you know, check out Inspectah Deck.
Check it out.
And you know, 7L Esoteric. Yep. CZARFACE's, and why? Because the Cipher said so. Something like that.
In that order.
Anyway, we out. Peace.
And you don't stop. My man Trey, and you don't stop. Johnny Boombats, and you don't stop. My man Muff, and you don't stop. My nigga Woo, and you don't stop. Little Brooklyn, and you don't stop. Grand Jury, and you don't stop. Jay White, and you don't stop. Cipher Music, and you don't stop. Check it. We rise from the grave with the eyes of a slave. We strive to survive, rocking the mic live. No surprise that we paid. We created a trade that became a craze, or was it vice versa? Gave birth to a verse and baptized it in cursive. If you thirst for the real, then travel no further. We murdered the fraudulent motherfuckers and went out to get burgers. We hip-hop carnivores, living by the